much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where you are rewarded for knowing obscure answers. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Claire, this is Emily, and we are friends from Cheltenham.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Graham, this is my partner Anita, we're from Walton-on-Thames.
Couple number three.
I'm Paul, this is my lovely daughter Charlene, and we're from Shoreham-by-Sea.
And finally, couple number four.
I'm Tom, and this is Phil, and we're friends from Glasgow.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks, all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along, so that just leaves one more person for me to introduce. The only man in Britain who loves trivia more than internet videos of kittens. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Hiya. I do like trivia, but I do prefer internet videos of kittens, to be fair.
Yeah, really, do you? I think you prefer trivia, don't you?
If I had to choose between trivia and internet videos of kittens, like one of them had to be banned forever, I would ban trivia. What a lovely show we had last time, didn't we?
Oh, that was lovely.
It was lovely. Bex and Greg, and they were so lovely. And Greg, he had the face of a boy, didn't he? And the voice of a 50-year-old man. And they were so nice. And they won the jackpot. They won. They got a really nice jackpot, and they really deserved it, didn't they? Really earned it.
Yeah.
And absolutely lovely. We got two pairs back from that show. We got Claire and Emily, who were just knocked out by them in the head-to-head. Sorry about the money going, but they were lovely, weren't they?
They were. They deserved it.
Just look and see if I believe that.
They were a good laugh.
They were lovely. And then we had Thomas and Phil. They got knocked out on a rude word, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Round two.
We were looking for Lily Allen singles.
Yeah, he just swore at me.
So I'm not sure I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say this thing, a very, very rude word. So I'm really, really, really sorry to say it, but it's going to be my answer. And then it was wrong.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. Our contestants here need to find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. Now, everyone's trying to find a pointless answer, of course. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Well, as you'll have gathered, Bex and Greg won the jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, I'll take an answer from each of you, but there is to be no conferring. At the end of the round, whichever pair has the highest score will be leaving us. OK, our first category today is the USA. USA. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what that question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many US states that do not contain the letter O as they could. US states that do not contain the letter O. Richard.
Simple one, this one. Yeah, just looking for any of the 50 US states without the letter O in their name. Very, very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed. Now then, Emily and Claire, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going to go first. So, Emily, what happened in that head-to-head?
OK, so we took the first question, and Bex and Greg took the second. And the third one, it was a question about houses, and their shack trumped our mansion. So they took that. They did very well.
Now, Emily, you are both from Cheltenham.
We are.
Where's your accent from?
I'm from Swansea originally.
Lovely accent.
Yeah. I've lived there for Cheltenham for 8 years now.
Now then, what are you going to go for? We want US states that do not contain the letter O.
Michigan.
Michigan. Michigan, yes, says Emily. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Michigan. It's right. $16 for Michigan.
It's a very good start, very tough on that first podium. Well done. It's the only place in the world with a floating post office. Got a post office which will deliver your mail to ships as they're passing.
Wow. Well, and there's someone on it feeling a bit sick.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that.
Stamping post. Oh, I'm not sure I'd want my post from there, actually.
Well, the good news is you don't have to. It's in Michigan, so...
Yeah, well, what if... We'll discuss this later. Anita, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. Where are you from?
Just outside Weybridge.
And what do you do, Anita?
I'm a retired university lecturer.
And what do you do now, Anita?
I still examine. I mark exams, and I'm also translating a book from from Spanish into English.
Good stuff. Now then, how about the US? Do you know your way around America?
Not terribly well. that I've managed to come up with one state, which is probably quite high scoring, but at least it doesn't contain an O. That's Alaska.
Alaska, says Anita. Let's see if Alaska's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Alaska. Is right. 45. 45 for Alaska.
It's a pretty big score, isn't it? But a perfectly acceptable answer. You have 17 of the United States' 20 largest mountains are in Alaska.
Good place to keep them.
Really good place.
Yeah.
People don't go skiing to Alaska, do they?
I suppose they don't yet, because they're probably easier places to get to.
Be a good place to go skiing, though.
You after a free skiing holiday now?
No, that's me doing the... I'm after doing the advert for Alaska. You do so many adverts, I don't do any. Alaska. So, you do it, you'll be brilliant.
No, you do it. That's good. That's
no, but
good.
you do it. You just show how you would do it.
Alaska.
Why do I even bother?
Now then, Paul. Welcome to Pointless. What do you do, Paul?
I'm a carer for my wife.
Very good. Do you have much time off?
Not much time off, but I do full of Norwich City, and I enjoy knitting as well.
Do you? How long have you done knitting?
About 18 months when Charlene was having a baby. She was expecting and she wanted a blanket, so I learnt to knit, and me and my wife and my youngest daughter knitted her a blanket between us.
Good stuff. Now then, what about these states not containing the letter O?
I'll go for Utah.
Utah. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Utah. Well, it's right. 45 is our high score, 16 is our low. You passed the high score. Almost down to the low score, 19. Very well done indeed, Paul. Great answer. 19 for Utah.
Yeah, very well played, Paul. No O's there. There's a U and an A, but no O's. Anything else you need to know, you just ask. One interesting fact about Utah, it doesn't have a floating post office.
No.
Yeah.
Tom, welcome back. Now then, talk us through last time.
Well, Phil, he went for a gamble.
He certainly did.
It didn't pay off, you know? Sometimes that happens.
Tom, remind us what you do.
I'm a student at York.
And what are you studying?
History.
How is your knowledge of the states of the United States?
Well, it's actually pretty good. Phil and I do these competitions where we can see if we can get to 50 states in the fastest time, because we're really cool.
Right.
So it's just a question of choosing which one, really.
Yes.
I'm going to go for Arkansas.
Almost universal nods from everyone else. They like that. Arkansas. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Arkansas. It is right. Well, 16 is our lowest score so far. 19 again. You join Paul and Charlene. Well done, Tom. Good answer.
Well played, Tom. We should go to Alma in Arkansas. It's the world's spinach capital. They hold a spinach festival
yes,
every
we
year.
should.
Don't you think?
That's such a good idea.
Be amazing, wouldn't it?
How do they feel about chard?
Chard, they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the chard wars were about.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. The best score of that pass was yours, Emily. So Claire and Emily looking pretty strong on the back of that. Then up to 19, where we find Tom, Phil and Paul and Charlene. Then up to 45, Anita. That was a punishingly high score there. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Alaska stood out so much, but it did. So, Graham, you have a mountain to climb there. You just, you make sure you score nice and low in the next pass, and we'll hope it's enough to keep you in the game. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? So, remember, Phil, we are looking for any US state without an O in them. You're on 19. The high scorers are Graham and Anita on 45, so 25 or less.
OK.
Should be doable for someone with your wide knowledge of the US states. I guess the difficulty is you've just got to work out which is the one that people couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one that comes to mind, which is New Hampshire.
Can I just say that was going to be my one if I was playing? That was the one I would have gone for. So New Hampshire, there's your red line. If you get below that, you are through to the next round. New Hampshire, how many people said that? Very well done. Look at that. Down it goes. Our lowest score so far, 8 for New Hampshire. Takes your total up to 27. That's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant answer, New Hampshire.
So anyone who came up with that, that's terrific.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Charlene, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Welcome, great to have you. Now, Paul, sorry, quick question for you. Were you massive Neighbours fans?
I was before Neighbours, actually. I was before.
Eat my words. I'm sorry. That's an insult to
but
everyone.
I've never heard that before.
No, I know. I'm sorry. What do you do, Charlene?
I'm a full-time mother to my 15-month-old princess.
Lovely. Princess
Violet.
There we are.
Yeah. Her name isn't actually Princess, it's just Violet, just to clarify. Not Princess Violet, just Violet.
OK, good to know. Glad we cleared that one up. She's probably watching as we're doing this, isn't she?
Yeah.
Hi, Violet. Now then, Charlene. We're looking for US states that don't contain the letter O.
OK, I think I can think of a couple, and I always say when I watch at home I'm not going to risk it, but I think I am going to risk one that I'm not sure about, but I'm going to say Maryland.
I think that's a great answer. Our lowest score so far is 8 from Phil with New Hampshire. Let's see if Maryland gets you through to the next round. There's your red line. It's right. There we are. It's got you through. 6, our new lowest score. Very well done, Charlotte. Best answer of the round. Takes your total up to 25.
That's a great answer, Charlene. Well done. Princess Violet will be very happy with that, I suspect. Do you know what the official state sport of Maryland is? They're a big sporting nation, the States, aren't they? Maryland's got an official state sport. It's jousting.
That's just mad.
Yeah.
Wow, jousting.
Yeah.
And they have proper televised tournaments and things?
Oh, yeah. The top jousters in Maryland make $20–25 million a year.
So what do they compete for? The hand of some beautiful maiden, or is it just a cup?
It's both. It's a cup with a hand attached to it, which is it's not great, but
OK. I should go there. I quite want to. No, I don't. Now, Graham. Yeah. Graham, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. And what do you do, Graham?
I'm semi-retired. I do some voluntary work now for a couple of housing associations and our local hospice.
And how did you and Anita meet?
Well, we bumped into each other at a tube station in London, 16 years ago, and the rest, they say, is history, yeah.
And you took it all the way to the end of the line.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. Now, Graham, we're looking for US states that don't contain the letter O. Have you been to America?
Yes, I have.
Have you got a good answer?
I'll try Maine.
OK, Maine. Well, you are the high scorers on 45, so you really need this to go down as far as it possibly can. Let's see how many people said Maine. $23. 23 takes your total up to 68, Graham.
yeah, a big score again, though, isn't it, for Maine 23? That's tough luck. 2 good answers for that podium, too, and a big score. They used to have quite a presence in the toothpick industry, Maine, till the toothpick mill closed.
The toothpick mill?
Yeah.
Just the one?
Yeah, but they're only tiny, aren't they? You only need 1 mill. They're essentially massively scaled-down jousting swords. It's like jousting for hamsters.
A bit more lethal.
Hamsters riding guinea pigs. In full armour.
See that? I would watch that.
With toothpicks.
I would watch that any day of the week. I'd watch that now.
Yeah. That should be the state sport of Britain, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hamsters in armour, riding guinea pigs with toothpicks. Yes, please.
Definitely.
Fighting for the hand of a vole. Yep.
Hand of a vole on a cup.
Amazing. Done. Sold.
Claire.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to have you back on the show. It was a puffin you were wearing last time, and you've got the head of a stag or something
Yes,
there.
indeed I have, yeah.
Do you have any jumpers that don't have the head of some sort of animal?
Well, this is it, actually. It was
That's
puffin and stag, and that's my lot.
I like them.
Well,
I like them.
Perhaps if I win the jackpot, I can invest in a whole animal jumper-themed wardrobe.
You could. A zoo of different jumpers.
Exactly.
There we are.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, you've probably had a lot of good answers that other people have said.
Indeed.
You can talk through all of them if you like.
OK, well, I think I want to join Phil and Tom's cool club because I, too, play sad games where I, race against the clock to get the US states. One that sprang to mind initially, though, and I think I'm going to go with it, is Delaware.
Delaware. Oh, there's a murmur. Oh, they like Delaware. Or maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
Anyway, 68 is the high score. You're on 16, which means 51 or less. 51 or less will get you through. There's your red line. If you get below that, you're through to round 2. Let's see how many of our 100 said Delaware. Is it right? It is right. You are in round 2. 7, our second lowest score of the round. Very well done indeed, Claire. Great answer, 23 your total.
That's another terrific answer. Well done, Claire. Yeah, I think lots of people know their states, so there's no pointless answers at all. This was literally just a round of going through those states and working out which one was going to be the most obscure. We have had the best 2 possible answers. Charlene, your answer, Maryland, was the best answer you could have given, and the answer we just had there from Claire was the second best answer as well. So that's 6 and 7. Let's take a look at those 2. And there's a few on 8. We've already had from Phil, we had New Hampshire. Tennessee would have scored you 8 as well, as would West Virginia. A few more of the lower scorers. Pennsylvania would have scored you 9. We're in 10 points for Kentucky or Indiana, 11 for Nebraska. Virginia would have scored you 15. Michigan, we know 16. New Jersey and Massachusetts, 17. Let's take a look at the top 3 answers, the ones that most of our 100 people said. Alabama would have scored you 32, Alaska 45, and Texas way up the top there on 74.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, the pair will be heading home with their high score of 68. That's not a high score, I'll be honest with you, Anita and Graham. I'm really sorry. It means we have to say goodbye right now. But we'll see you again next time, when I hope we'll see you right through to the head-to-head and beyond. But meantime, thanks very much for playing, Graham and Anita. Lovely contestants. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. And so only 3 pairs remain. Which pair will be leaving us at the end of this round, I wonder? Now, Charlene. Oh, I've just thought of another Charlene. Spiteri.
And she spells it the same
And
as
it's
well.
spelt the same.
Yeah, the only other Charlene I know like this.
Anyway, lovely low score. Best score of the round. Everyone needs to be aware. Paul and Charlene are the pair to beat. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 is famous people. Famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns famous scandals. Famous scandals, Richard.
We're going to show you descriptions of 12 different people, 6 on each pass, who have been involved in famous scandals. You just need to tell us who those people are, please. We're not including Phil saying a rude word on the last show in this round. Give us the best answer you can. It's going to be 12 in all to have a go at home.
OK, thanks very much indeed. So we're looking for the people described by these clues. And here's our first board of 6. Conservative MP who lost his Tatton seat in the Cash for Questions affair. This future king secretly married a Catholic widow, Maria Fitzherbert. Secretary of State for War forced to resign over his affair with Christine Keeler. Cook and lifestyle guru imprisoned for 5 months for insider trading. Second wife of Henry VIII, she was brought to trial on charges of adultery and incest, and he was impeached for lying about his affair with Monica Lewinsky. I'll read those all one last time. Conservative MP who lost his Tatton seat in the Cash for Questions affair. This future king secretly married a Catholic widow, Maria Fitzherbert. Secretary of State for War forced to resign over his affair with Christine Keeler. Cook and lifestyle guru imprisoned for 5 months for insider trading. Second wife of Henry VIII, she was brought to trial on charges of adultery and incest, and he was impeached for lying about his affair with Monica Lewinsky. There we are. 6 clues to 6 people inveigled in scandal. Claire, you go first.
I think initially I felt quite confident when I saw the title of this round, but now I'm beginning to doubt myself. I think I'm going to go for the top one, Conservative MP who lost his Tatton seat. I'm going to say Jonathan Aitken.
Jonathan Aitken, says Claire. Jonathan Aitken. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Bad luck, Claire. I'm afraid an incorrect answer scores you the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Claire, there are a lot of politicians to choose between when it comes to scandal, but yeah, he's not the specific one there.
Thanks very much. Now, Paul.
Yeah.
So, we want the names of these people.
Well, I know one for sure, but I think I'm going to go for the Secretary of State for War, because I think that's John Profumo.
John Profumo, says Paul. John Profumo. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Profumo. It is right. 41. 41 points for John Profumo.
Well played, Paul. Another good answer from you. Yeah, he lied in Parliament about wrongdoing as well and eventually was forced to resign. Did a lot of charitable work after he did resign. He's made a CBE in the 70s.
Now then, Phil, you're the last person to have this board, so you can talk us through it if you like.
Yeah, it's not a great category for me, I've got to be honest. The one I think I'm going to go for is the second wife of Henry VIII. I'm just going to guess Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn, says Phil, second wife of Henry VIII. Let's see if Anne Boleyn's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. Well said, Phil. 40. Best score of the past.
Yeah, the ghost of Anne Boleyn is said to haunt Blickling Hall, which is Britain's most haunted house.
Does she do anything?
No, of course not. If she could do anything, why would she just hang around in Blickling House? She'd go on telly or something,
Nice
wouldn't she?
place.
Let's take a look at the rest of these. Now, he's impeached for lying about his affair with Monica Lewinsky. It's a very big scorer, 71 points if you said Bill Clinton. Now, the Conservative MP, as I say, there's an awful lot of them. Jonathan Aitken was South Thanet, that was his seat, and Tatton was Neil Hamilton. Would have scored you 14. The Cook and Lifestyle Guru, do you know that one? It's an American one. Martha Stewart.
Oh, yes.
She would have scored you 10 points. And the best answer up there is the future king, and that is George IV. Would have scored you 2 points. Very well done if you said that.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 40, the best score of that pass, Phil. Phew-y. 41 is where we find Paul and Charlene. Then up to 100, I'm sorry, Claire and Emily. That was quite a punishing high score there for Jonathan Aitken. But, Emily, it's not out of the question. You could find a nice, low-scoring answer and keep yourselves in the game. Best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more clues on the board, and here they come. We have American cyclist stripped of 7 Tour de France titles, chairman of Enron when it filed for bankruptcy in 2002, Labour MP who faked his own death to escape business debts, Canadian sprinter stripped of his Olympic gold in 1988, Liberal Prime Minister accused of selling knighthoods and peerages, former proprietor of the Daily Telegraph imprisoned for defrauding investors. I'll read those all one last time. American cyclist stripped of 7 Tour de France titles, chairman of Enron when it filed for bankruptcy in 2002, Labour MP who faked his own death to escape business debts, Canadian sprinter stripped of his Olympic gold in 1988, Liberal Prime Minister accused of selling knighthoods and peerages, and former proprietor of the Daily Telegraph imprisoned for defrauding investors. There we are. Now remember, we're looking for the people described by these clues, Tom, and you're going to want to find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. You're on 40. The high scorers are 100, and they're Emily and Claire. So a score of 59 or less keeps you in the game.
I know 2 of them. One of them's quite obvious, I think, because it was quite recent. And I'm going to go for the Canadian sprinter stripped of his Olympic gold. That's Ben Johnson, I think. Ben
Johnson, says Tom. Here comes your red line. If you get below that, you're through to the next round. Let's see, is Ben Johnson right? How many people said it? It is right. Through you go to the head-to-head. 33. Good answer. 73 your total.
There was an extraordinary documentary about that race, that 100 metre in 1988, where they interviewed everyone who'd been in it, and it was on BBC 4. It's just terrific. The race that shocked the world. It's really worth checking out if you can get hold of it.
I'll look it up. Charlene, we're looking for the people described by these clues.
I don't know any of them for sure.
Are you a stranger to scandal, Charlene?
I am.
Well, listen, you're on 41. The high score is still Emily and Claire on 100. 58 or less gets you into the head-to-head.
OK, I'll go for the Daily Telegraph and say Rupert Murdoch.
OK, Rupert Murdoch, says Charlene. Here comes your red line. If you get below that red line, you're in the head-to-head. Let's see if Rupert Murdoch's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck, Charlie. I'm sorry. An incorrect answer there scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total up to 141. The game is not over yet, though, for you, nor is the round. Richard?
Sorry, Charlene. Rupert Murdoch has never been in prison.
Emily. Now, we have a game on our hands. We have a new high scorer, Charlene and Paul, 141. You're on 100. You have to score 40 or less to get into the head-to-head. Why? Oh, no, don't look like that. Talk us through the board. Just go through it and see if there's anything on that board you might be able to answer.
Couldn't possibly. I don't know any of them except for the top one, which I've even got a couple of different first names going around in my head for that. The others, you know, I thought scandals would be maybe celebrities who are falling out of nightclubs and stuff. So I'm sorry, Claire, but all I can go for is the American cyclist and hope that it's Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong, says Emily. OK, well, 40 or less is what you want to score. There is your red line. Get below that, you're in the head-to-head. Let's find out. Lance Armstrong, how many people said it? 57, I'm afraid. 57 for Lance Armstrong takes your total up to 157.
Yeah, really sorry. It's a big score for Lance Armstrong. It's very recent. I tell you, the more you read about that story, the worse it gets, the Lance Armstrong stuff. Really, really bad. Now, let's take a look at the rest of these. No one falling out of nightclubs here. The closest we've got is Liberal Prime Minister David Lloyd George. He loved going to the nightclubs.
Yeah.
He would have scored you 6 points. The proprietor of the Daily Telegraph, I think you were on Have I Got News for You?
I
with him,
was,
weren't you?
yeah, Conrad Black.
Conrad Black, yes. He would have scored 14. Now, the Labour MP who faked his own death, viewers of maybe of an older generation will remember, was John Stonehouse. Would have scored 12. And this last one is a pointless answer, the chairman of Enron. So very well done. If you said Kenneth Lay was a pointless answer, would have added £250 to the jackpot.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our second round, I'm afraid the pair leaving us, they were in the head-to-head last time. This time they leave in round 2. It's Emily and Claire. Bad luck. You did so well last show, and you've done so well this show up to this round. I'm sorry we have to say goodbye to you, but it's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Emily and Claire.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Tom and Phil, Paul and Charlene. You're one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. Now, to decide which pair is going to be playing for that money, you're now going to go head-to-head. But the difference is you're now allowed to confer. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns time travel films.
Time travel films are the best types of films there are, I think.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? We're going to show you 5 stills now from famous time travel films. Just have to tell us what the films are, please.
OK, thanks very much. Let's reveal our 5 time travel film stills, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 time travel films. Now, Tom and Phil, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
OK, I think we're going to go for A, which we think is 12 Monkeys.
A, 12 Monkeys, say Tom and Phil. 12 Monkeys. So, Paul and Charlene, can you talk us through the other films?
Yeah,
See if you can fill in all the...
Yeah.
So B is obviously Back to the Future, and C, Donnie Darko. Not sure about D. And E, I think it's Terminator.
Yes, future.
It's old, isn't it?
Yeah,
We'll go
okay.
Terminator. Yeah, we'll go with E, Terminator.
E, Terminator. So we have 12 Monkeys playing the Terminator. Tom and Phil said 12 Monkeys. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said 12 Monkeys. It's right. $11. $11 for 12 Monkeys. Now, Paul and Charlene have said the Terminator. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. It is right. Is it going to go down as far as 11? I wonder. 38 for the Terminator. Well done, Tom and Phil. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Let's go through the others. B is Back to the Future. That would have scored you 57. C is Donnie Darko, which, you know, wasn't a huge film at the time, but it's a huge cult movie now. It scored 25 points. It's a very big score, actually. Jake Gyllenhaal there in that. And D, which is the best answer up there, it's the Woody Allen film with Owen Wilson, Midnight in Paris. That would have scored you 5 points. Very well done if you got all 5 of those at home. Unless you're watching on catch-up through some sort of time travel thing, in which case that's cheating.
Thanks very much indeed. So here comes your second question. Now, Paul and Charlene, you get to answer this one first, but you have to win it to stay in the game. Best of luck. It concerns Yiddish words. Yiddish words. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 5 words that have entered the English lexicon from Yiddish, but we've left out alternate letters. Can you fill them in, please?
OK, let's reveal our 5 Yiddish words, and here they are. We have got C blank, U blank, Z blank, A blank, impudence, N blank, B blank, I blank, H, ineffectual, K blank, U blank, Z, a clumsy person, S blank, H blank, O blank, Z blank, chat, and K blank, E blank, C blank, a complaining person. I'll read those all again. C-U-Z-A, impudence. N-B-I-H, ineffectual. K-U-Z, a clumsy person. S-H-O-Z, chat. And K-E-C, a complaining person. There we are.
Yeah, so
Paul and Charlene.
We're going to go with the top one and say chutzpah for impudence.
Chutzpah. Chutzpah, say Paul and Charlene. Now, Tom and Phil, can you take us through the rest of the board?
No. we know one.
Wait, the chat one, this is ridiculous. It could be schnooze.
Let's go for it, because the second, the second, sorry, the middle one is klutz, but it is going to be higher. Let's go for it.
The chat one?
Yeah.
Okay, schnooze.
Schnooze. OK, you're going to say schnooze. So we have chutzpah versus schnooze. Paul and Charlene said chutzpah. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said chutzpah. That's right. $18 for chutzpah. Very well done. Tom and Phil have gone for schnooze. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said schnooze. Oh, bad luck, Tom and Phil. I'm afraid that's incorrect. You're going to kick yourselves when you realise how close you were. But well done, Paul and Charlene. You're back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
Yeah, it's not schnooze, it's schmooze. To schmooze. I'm afraid, and would have scored 15 points as well. Would have seen you into the final. No point going for klutz. It would have scored you too many points. Would have scored you 46. Ineffectual is
nebbish.
Nebbish, yes, the best answer up there, actually. Would have scored 2. And a complaining person, or to complain.
Kvetch.
Kvetch, yeah. And that would have scored 7. Very well done if you got all of those.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, here comes your third question. This is the decider. Whoever wins this goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck, both pairs. It concerns Romeo and Juliet. Richard.
We're going to give you 5 clues now to the William Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet. You just need to give us the most obscure answer, and the team that gets this point is going through to the jackpot round, so very best of luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they come. Largely set in this city, the title of the 1957 musical adaptation by Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim, name of Juliet's cousin killed by Romeo, the opposing family to the Capulets, and the Oscar-nominated director of the 1968 film adaptation. I'll read those all one last time. Largely set in this city, the title of the 1957 musical adaptation by Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim, the name of Juliet's cousin killed by Romeo, the opposing family to the Capulets, and the Oscar-nominated director of the 1968 film adaptation. There we are. 5 clues to facts about Romeo and Juliet. Tom and Phil, you go first.
Right. The bottom one I thought was going to be great for a second, but it's a later film that I know is directed by someone else. The middle one, I believe, is Tybalt.
OK, Tybalt, say Tom and Phil. Tybalt. Paul and Charlene.
OK, I think we know the rest of them, actually, but it's just knowing which one's the...
Do you want to talk us through them?
So it's set in Verona. The title of the musical is West Side Story. The opposing family to the Capulets is the Montagues, and...
I think the Oscar-nominated director was Roman Polanski. I think.
So what are you going to go for?
100% on Polanski.
Just go for West Side Story. I think the other two are, you know, if you've read the book, you've read the book, I think.
Okay.
Just go for...
All right, we'll go for West Side Story then.
OK, West Side Story, say Paul and Charlene. OK, West Side Story. Well, Tom and Phil have said Tybalt. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It is right. I suspect this will be a low score. Yes, it is. Look at that, 7. Well done, Tom and Phil. Tybalt. Paul and Charlene have gone for West Side Story, the name of the musical adaptation from 1957. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. $16. Not a bad answer, not a bad score, but I'm afraid it doesn't beat Tybalt on 7, which means, Tom and Phil, after 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1.
Very well played, Tom and Phil. There's only one answer up there that would have beaten Tybalt, and it is the film director. Now, it's somewhere in your head, because it's not Roman Polanski, you'd be delighted to hear. So pointless answer is Franco Zeffirelli. Franco Zeffirelli would have scored you nothing at all. Polanski did do he did a version of Macbeth, but not Romeo and Juliet. It's largely set in Verona. You're absolutely right. That would have scored you 25, though, and the opposing family were the Montagues. But that would have scored you 37. Very well done to anyone who got all 5 of those.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of the head-to-head round, the pair who'll be leaving us, I'm afraid, it's Paul and Charlene. But it's good news, really, because it means we get to see you again next time. Otherwise, it would only have been 1 appearance on Pointless, and that would have been too few. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. Thanks so much, Paul and Charlene. Lovely contestants. But for Tom and Phil, it's now time for our Pointless final. Well, congratulations, Tom and Phil. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted Pointless trophy, so very well done. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,000. Very well done. You performed very well. Some great answers. And what would you like to see come up in this round? You know what it's like. They're always hard. They're quite specific, the categories, but...
What would we like? I don't know.
Whenever we say what we like, that never comes up. So, like ships and acid jazz, please.
OK, well, fair enough. Best of luck. As always, you kick off this round by choosing a category, and here are the 4 options you have to choose from. They are wrestlers, opera, the 2020 UK general election, Glasgow.
Well, I live in Edinburgh, so we won't be going for the bottom one.
I live in York, but I think, come on,
we got to go for it.
Yeah.
You try it.
That's jammy, isn't it? What about that? So Glasgow, you're going to go for. Very best of luck, Richard.
That's turned up nicely, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been on the board before, but yeah, it's turned up very nicely. We're going to give you 3 different categories here for Glasgow, 3 very different categories. Can you give us an answer from one of these 3, please? Any manager of Celtic FC from 1897 through to the 2012-2013 season, any station on the Glasgow subway system, or any film with Billy Connolly. So any manager of Celtic FC, any station on the Glasgow subway, and any feature film made for cinema release for which Billy Connolly received an acting credit. No TV films, documentaries, anything like that. Very, very best of luck.
OK, now, as always, you have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. And to win that jackpot of £1,000, just one of those answers has to be pointless. Now, remember, the answers you give can come from any of these categories. There could be 3 from one, 2 from one, 1 from another, however you like. OK, are you ready?
Yep.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Subway. We've got to go for the subway.
Let's ignore the top one. Right.
Yeah.
OK, subway. Kinning Park.
Yeah, Kinning Park.
That's right. I did the subcrawl recently and they've just gone out my head. Kinning Park, Bridge Street.
Bridge Street, yeah. Where's the Glasgow Academy? Where's that one?
Oh, that's Kelvin Grove.
That won't be fun.
No, Kinning Park, Govan Ibrox. Stick down Ibrox.
Nah, because if there's an even, just I'm still getting. I think, what about Hillhead? Is that too obvious?
No. Hillhead. Kinning Park, definitely.
Yeah, Kinning Park.
And
yeah.
then we could go with Cowcaddens. There's
Yeah, Cowcaddens, that's not that famous.
St Enoch. But that's
Okay,
in
so
the
it's a
middle of
question of
Buchanan
choosing.
Street. Kinning Park's the definite.
Where's Cowcaddens?
Cowcaddens is just a way out, like, you know where the RSMD.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Go for Cowcaddens. And
Okay.
we'll go for...
Hillhead's like too wet.
10 seconds left.
Govan's where Ibrox is, but...
Should I go for it? Because it's Govan and Ibrox. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I think, yeah.
OK, you're happy to stop there with seconds left on the clock. OK, that is time up. I now need your 3 answers.
Okay, we'll go for Kinning Park.
Kenning Park.
Kinning Park.
Yep, got it.
We'll go for Bridge Street.
Bridge Street.
And what do you think? Stick one down.
Cowcaddens?
Go for Cowcaddens.
And Cowcaddens.
Yeah.
OK, Kinning Park, Bridge Street and Cowcaddens. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Roughly equal, but I think Kinning Park's probably the best chance we have.
Kinning Park we'll put last. Which should we put first? Your least likely.
Let's stick down Cowcaddens first.
Cowcaddens we'll put first. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got Cowcaddens, Bridge Street and Kinning Park. There we are. Very, very best of luck. Your first answer was Cowcaddens. Obviously, if this is correct and it is pointless, it will win you that £1,000. Tom, what would you do with your share of that?
Well, I'm hoping to make a short film when I finish university and maybe send it to a few festivals. And filmmaking's quite expensive, so you need all the money you can get.
Yeah, you put it towards that. Good stuff. Phil, how about you?
As penance for last time's performance. I'll probably give a wee bit to charity.
Well, very well done to you. That's fantastic. Well, let's hope 3 good answers on the board, 3 good shots at that jackpot. At least one of them, let's hope, is pointless. Now, your first one, Cowcaddens, let's find out. If this is pointless and goes all the way down to the bottom, it will win you that £1,000 jackpot. Is Cowcaddens a station on the Glasgow subway? It is. Down it goes, through the 60s, through the 50s, through the 40s, through the 30s. If this takes us all the way down to 0, you leave here with £1,000. Down it goes, still going down. Look at that, 2. 2 of our 100 people said Cowcaddens. That's a brilliant answer and a fantastic score in any other part of the game. Sadly, in this round, it's only pointless answers we're interested in. However, your next answer was Bridge Street. Let's find out. If it's correct and it's pointless, obviously you'll win today's jackpot. So for £1,000, is Bridge Street a station on the Glasgow subway? It most certainly is. Cowcaddens took us all the way down to 2. Bridge Street now taking us down through the 40s and 30s, into the 20s, into the teens. Down it goes into single figures. If this goes down to 0, you leave with £1,000. Yes, you've done it! Very well done indeed! That is fantastic. Very well done. Congratulations. Brilliant. Many congratulations. Bridge Street was a pointless answer, which means you go home with a jackpot of £1,000. It would have been kind of embarrassing if Glasgow had come up and you hadn't won, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was the biggest fear.
Yeah, you wouldn't be allowed back.
No.
Anyway, very well done indeed. What about that, Richard?
Oh, it's terrific. Well done, guys. You've been brilliant players, so very well done. Your last answer, Kinning Park, also a pointless answer as well. So very well done. 2 pointless answers. We don't see that very often. Now, for residents of Glasgow, the subway stations is the way to go. I suspect some people at home might have gone for the Billy Connolly films or the Celtic Manager, so let's take a look at some of those. There's 5 of them in all. Liam Brady would have been a pointless answer, as would Lou Macari. Very well done if you said either of those. Sean Fallon, Willie Maley and Joseph Fenglos as well. I remember him. He was a pointless answer. Let's take a look at the subway stations. We've had Bridge Street, of course, and these are the other 4 that were pointless. Kelvin Bridge, Kinning Park, Shields Road and West Street. All the others scored points. So you did very well, even in your knowledge of Glasgow subway stations, to pick 2 pointless answers. And Billy Connolly films, all of these would have won you the money. Gulliver's Travels, Indecent Proposal, Open Season and Pocahontas. Very well done if you said any of those at home. And congratulations, guys. Sometimes the categories fall very nicely, and they did today. Well done.
So lucky.
Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Tom and Phil, who go away with today's jackpot of £1,000. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.